What is going on, everybody? This is your man, Big B. We got Big G here. We are again live on Steelers Almighty, man. Not the big show tonight, but we're just talking to you all for a little bit. Just wanted to bring everybody up to speed. Pittsburgh Steelers, there's rumors going crazy right now about them. Just wanted to bring turn this sound down here. Going crazy, Big G, about rumors trying
Yep.
to trade for Jonnu Smith. Now, usually with those kind of rumors, it's like, okay, it is what it is. You know, we've heard it. This is literally at the top of the Steelers' docket or top of ESPN's docket as
Yeah.
far as news.
Yeah.
So if they're putting it up there, there has to be some heavy talks. And my question, Big G, is this almost a done deal?
I believe it is. I mean, so let me say this. B, me and you know we got some inside source stuff that we know that the Steelers have contacted multiple teams about trying to get a playmaker opposite of DK Metcalf, right? But Jonnu Smith has connections to Arthur Smith, right? And so if Arthur Smith is in command of the offense, I think it's already a done deal, bro. I think it's just the compensation, and that's something I think that we need to talk about with the live chat and the people. Like, what's the compensation? Because I'm okay with giving up Calvin Austin III if that's what they want. I'm okay with giving him up, but other folks is gonna want other things. But I think it's almost done, bro.
I do too, but it's going to take more than Calvin Austin III. I think it's probably a fourth or a fifth round pick plus Calvin Austin III. And we probably get something back too. It's not going to just be Jonnu Smith. It'll probably be like a seventh or something like that. They'll pick swap, something of that nature. But my thing is, I like it. I like Jonnu Smith. Now, we already see my man Jason in the comments, and this is where me and you, we talked about this earlier, and me and
Yep.
you kind of butted heads because you're wanting, well, that'll mean Darnell Smith or Darnell Washington's not on the field. I'm like, Jonnu Smith, as far as the pass receiving tight end, is miles better than
Yeah.
Darnell Washington. So
Yeah.
what are we talking about here?
Well, the issue is that I think that they can run it out of 12 personnel and put him in a Y. I also think in 11 personnel, he could possibly be an H-back. That's just my thoughts. And you could have three tight end sets on the field with Freiermuth, with Jonnu Smith, and Mount Washington. Because
Right.
Mount Washington has proved his worth in the run game. And he is like you said, B, he's a glorified tackle. But I think now you can't double team everybody. You see what I'm saying? So somebody's going to get a matchup one-on-one where you're going to get a little bitty 5'10" ass defensive back, and Mount Washington going to be one-on-one with him. Is it in the middle of the field? Is it on the outside flank of the field? Where is it at? So I think that the 12 personnel, big package 11 personnel, it works, man. It works. And I like it in 12 if you put Smith on one side, DK on the other, line up Muth and Washington with the double tight and Johnson in the backfield, and let's go. I like that, bro. I like that a lot.
Well, I mean, I see your point. My thing is, Jonnu Smith isn't a wide receiver,
Facts.
so we can't act like he's a wide receiver. He's not. He's
Mm-hmm.
a tight end, so we have
Mm-hmm.
to play him like he's a tight end.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, it just makes more sense. First of all, he's more of an offensive weapon than Washington,
Mm-hmm.
and we can line up in 12 personnel. Line up in 12 personnel with him and Freiermuth and split them both out.
Yeah.
Or one out. Do something different. There's a lot of different things that you can do. And not to mention, there are a ton of good offensive teams in the National Football League that use two tight ends,
Mm-hmm.
two pass catching tight
Mm-hmm.
ends. They do
Mm-hmm.
it all the time. So the Steelers, if they make this trade, I like it because it gives them more options,
Yeah.
to be more flexible. I know we like Darnell Washington. I know what he like. We like what he can possibly bring to the table.
Mm-hmm.
But again, if we're being serious and we just knock out all the BS, Jonnu Smith is miles better as a pass catcher. They're not even in the same stratosphere as a
Yeah.
pass catcher. And somewhat, well, they don't use Washington. Man, if he could do it, they would use him. If he
Facts.
was capable of going out and getting 65 catches a year, they would
Mhm.
do that, you
Yeah.
know? And he's
Mhm.
just not that guy. And that's okay. That's okay.
B, but listen, all the teams we're chasing, okay? We're chasing the Baltimore Ravens, we're chasing the Buffalo Bills, and we're chasing the Kansas City Chiefs. They all have two tight ends that can catch the damn ball.
Yes, they do.
Every last one of them have that. And
Yes.
so if they make this move for Jonnu Smith, okay, now we're aligning to play the same type of offensive play like the Ravens, like the Buffalo Bills, and like the Kansas City Chiefs. And now we got two. You see what
Right.
I'm saying? So I like it, but I think Jonnu Smith is more flexible. Jonnu Smith is closer to Isaiah Likely than he is a Darnell Washington. And when the Baltimore Ravens line up with Andrews and Isaiah Likely, oh, they're deadly, bro. And so
Yeah.
because he's a matchup nightmare because he's fast. He showed last year he can catch. Look, he had like almost 10 touchdowns, almost 1,000 yards receiving. He made the freaking Pro Bowl.
Right.
And that's on a team with Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. So if you put him next to Muth or next to Washington, oh, they got problems because he's a matchup nightmare. You
That
know, he
that's
got dunk on everybody.
That's my whole point is like the Steelers just don't have this plethora of weapons. My man Mark Malone says it. You know, it's not like we have these outstanding wide receivers. Get as many weapons as you can on the football field, man, and then go from there. You
Yeah.
know, and he's a weapon. Use him the
Mhm.
right way. Again, I get it that there might be some trepidation because people like Darnell Washington. I like Darnell Washington, but we can't be, I guess, crazy about what he actually is. What
Yeah.
he actually is a blocking tight end that can catch you 20 to 25 balls a year. You
Yeah.
know, he's not going to be a 65 catch guy here. He can't run those kind of routes. He can't get that kind of separation. That's
Mhm.
not the kind of guy. Think about the routes and when he catches the football, where he catches it. Like, he's not catching crossing routes,
Mhm.
comeback. Right? He's not doing that kind of stuff. It's bootleg, throw it backside, stuff like that. And here's the thing, he's never been the number one tight end on his team. Even in
Facts.
college, he wasn't the number one tight end on his team.
Yeah.
So he's fine with that. He's a blocker. He's just a blocker with extreme athletic ability that can catch a football, and make a guy miss from time to time or run over a guy. Well,
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
But the Steelers need weapons. And this
Mhm.
is another weapon. Got to make the move, man. Got to make the move.
Yeah, I mean, and being Arthur Smith's offense, this works perfect. And you're correct about how he was used even at Georgia. They would run him up underneath Bowers. If you go back and actually watch the film, they would run him up underneath Bowers, or they would hit him with a big time play action because you would think they would sit in a run set and they would run it 2-3 times. And then the offensive coordinator would be like, man, if the tight end just releases up the seam, we're going to get him one on one with a nickel cornerback, and that's how he killed people at Georgia. Really, to be honest, and
Correct.
because they lined up Bowers on the outside of him and just ran people off. So yeah, Washington, I don't think he's a done deal, B. But who's adios muchachos is Cameron. I mean, it's Hayward. But Connor Hayward is out of here, bro.
I don't
And
think so. I don't think. I don't think
Smith,
Parham,
Washington,
Parham is not going to make the football team, bro. Parham is not
B.
going. Parham didn't even play football last year. He wasn't even on a team last year. That guy's not making the football team if we are able to trade for Jonnu Smith. I mean, how many non-receiving blocking tight ends do we want? I mean,
Yeah,
that's the whole thing. We can't have all those guys. I mean, Freiermuth's not great. Jonnu Smith's a better blocker than him, but he's not spectacular, but he's good enough,
yeah.
and we got Washington. You can't just have a bunch of guys. I think now it could be maybe Connor Hayward is gone.
Mhm.
Maybe he is, but I don't think so. I think it would be Jonnu Smith. It would be Muth, Smith, Washington, and Hayward. But maybe they keep Parham. I don't know. But hopefully they keep a damn fullback. And
Yeah.
that could change a whole lot of stuff, G, if they kept a fullback on the damn roster.
They got some dude that they paid 30,000 to. His last name's Jones. He's an unrestricted free agent. He's like an H-back tight end dude. And I was hearing him from practice that he's looking really good, bro. So
Yeah.
I mean that room changes the dynamic of the Steelers, and that's all we're really asking for. Because if Arthur Smith's gonna be the OC, put him in position to have players that can excel in his formations and his sets and his play calling. And Jonnu Smith changes the game. I don't know if Hayward does, but like you said, you just can't have a big dude like Parman and Washington, and you're not going to utilize any of those dudes in the pass game. That's not going to work. So one of them is up out of there. I doubt if it's Washington, but it might be Parman, bro. It might be Parman.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Now, obviously, comes in with the negative attitude like he usually does. He hates Tomlin. He hates the. Come on, Somber, be positive, man. You're usually a positive guy, but he comes
Mhm.
in. Well, we don't throw to him. Well, we might.
Yeah,
We might. We might. Maybe things are changing. Because the thing that I do know is that when Arthur Smith was in Tennessee, hell, when he was in Atlanta, they used a tight end. Now,
yeah,
they used two tight ends in Atlanta. Maybe they
yeah,
should have used Kyle Pitts more, but they did
mhm,
use tight ends.
yeah,
So that's part of it. And now
yeah,
we can get a better one. I'm just saying, get weapons.
yeah.
Get weapons. And here we ask for weapons, and then when they get one, it's well, we're not going to use them. Oh my God, what are we doing?
Mhm.
It's just come on, let's
Eh,
go. Just
bro,
be positive for once, man.
yeah, yeah. I mean, he's tripping, man. And like most Steelers fans, because really it comes back to the quarterback, and we ain't even talking about that today. But the issue is the more offensive weapons you have, the better you can utilize a quarterback, right? Now, I'm just saying, one thing being, we've talked about this. One thing Mason Rudolph's ass will do is he will throw that damn ball across the middle of the field. And
Yeah,
he's going to find big targets and throw the ball to him. So if you got Smith, DK, Move, Washington, Caleb out the backfield, oh, he's going to find them. So
right.
Warren out the backfield, he's going to find them. So, bro, he might struggle a little bit with the little fellas. He might struggle with a Calvin Austin III. If he's even going to be on the team, or Roman Wilson, he might struggle with the little fellas. But the big guys, he's shown throughout his career, even when he's with Pittsburgh the first time, he found the big wide receivers. He locked in
Did
on them, and he would just throw it to him, cross the middle, deep routes. It didn't matter. So this gives Mason another opportunity to shine at quarterback. If because I don't even want to talk about that other dude, bro. Get his ass out of here. But if for right now, who we got on the roster, this helps Mason a whole lot, being a whole lot, bro.
right. I mean, it's well. I mean, look. First off, they got to make the trade. I feel like when ESPN, and y'all know how ESPN is, when they put the trade at the top of their ticker, that means they got something going on. And it's been at the top of this damn ticker for like 3 hours. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, okay, something is going on.
Mm-hmm.
I'll ask the chat the same question that I'm asking you. What do you give up for him? Like, if you want Jono, what do you give up for him?
I give up Calvin Austin the third and a fourth or a fifth. Either one. You could take Calvin Austin the third and a fourth, Calvin Austin the third and a fifth. It don't matter. But that's to me that, and then I want compensation back. I maybe want a six back. So if I give up Calvin Austin in a fourth, I want Jonnu Smith in a fifth back. That's that to me. That's fair,
Gotcha.
But I don't know what the chat will be talking about, man.
Well, the thing about it is that we're also going to have to extend him because that's his beef with Miami right now. He's got 1 year left. He wants an extension. 29 years old. You can give him a 3 year extension. Make the third year voidable if you want to. They
Mm-hmm.
can do that. I wouldn't be mad if they did that. Again, weapons. Just
Mm-hmm.
more weapons. We can't cry when they try to give us weapons. No, is it a wide receiver too? No. But it is a guy that can catch the football and can create space and can create mismatches. He's something that the Pittsburgh Steelers can use. And again, other teams in the for instance, the Buffalo Bills. Who was can anybody in the chat even name without using Google a Buffalo's Bills receiver last year? And
They
you
can't.
definitely can't name two. You could
Mm-mm.
say Deion Coleman, but hell, he was third string or third on the depth chart. So
Mm-hmm.
as far as so he was down the line a little bit. It's like, come on, we just teams use two tight ends. They do it
Yeah.
all the time. The Eagles use two tight ends. A lot of people
Yeah.
use two tight ends. So
Yeah.
it is what it
Well,
is.
the chat, I mean, people will trip about, because I seen the chat tripping. And they were talking about we can't do that, Calvin Austin III. Let me tell y'all something. The reason why the trade makes sense is because Miami's trying to get up off of Tyreek. And they want a poor man with a poor contract to be able to slide a guy into that offense like Tyreek. For us, it works because it's Arthur Smith's offense, which is tight end heavy. So if we're going to have a bunch of tight ends on the roster, we need playmakers at the tight end. Like you said, we just can't have a bunch of glorified tackles. We can't have that. We got to have dudes that can get 60, 70, 60 or 70 catches easy. Look at what Jonnu Smith did last year. He had almost 1,000 with about 70 catches and almost 10 touchdowns. He
Right.
can catch the damn ball, bro. He can catch the ball. And
There's
that
a good
helps our
point
offense.
that
Yeah.
somebody brings up. It says, I'm not giving up my starting wide receiver and my return man. I mean, that's a good point because as it sits right now, Calvin Austin is wide receiver number 2. So
Yeah.
you give that up for another tight end. I mean, I don't know. I mean, now granted, in the offense and the type of offense we run, I think Jonnu Smith will be better.
Mm-hmm.
But I like Calvin Austin. That's tough to give up your starting wide receiver and then you don't have a guy. That would be tough. I'm not sure Calvin Austin is the guy you give up. For instance, why does Miami want him? Like Miami doesn't need him, so why would Miami be willing to trade Jonnu Smith for Calvin Austin III? I don't think Calvin Austin III would do that. So, or not Calvin Austin III. I don't think Miami would do that because they don't need him. They would be looking for draft capital. So, I don't think that would be who they would have to give up, in my opinion. Because and
Mm-hmm.
I don't think the Steelers should do that either, because Calvin
Mm-hmm.
Austin does a lot and he can help the offense. But Miami, to say that they're going to give up Jonnu for a guy that they literally don't need and can't use, I don't think that's the move for them. I really don't.
Well, maybe it's one of the, like I said, it's the long game. Because now maybe it could be if you give up Calvin Austin, you're sold on Roman Wilson. That's number one. And number two, I'm telling you, Miami trying to get up off of Tyreek Hill, bro. They're
No, I'm
trying to
sure they
dump him.
are. I'm sure they
So
are.
yeah, yeah. So that's cheaper money. You see what I'm saying? So if you get a poor man's, and I'm not saying Calvin Austin III is Tyreek Hill. I'm just saying he's serviceable in that style of offense for the Miami Dolphins. So if you can get a cheaper version of a guy that's fast, that slides into their offense and does that, now you can get rid of Tyreek. They get draft capital, and then we get the guy we need for our offense. Now, like you said, it's got to happen, and there's a lot of speculation, but there's no way in hell that this would be like the main news out there. And be like I said, we vetted. They contacted multiple teams. Now we
Yeah,
know for a fact they contacted the Saints. We know for a fact they contacted the Miami Dolphins. Who else they done contacted?
right.
Because they looking for another playmaker, bro. They looking for one. Now, for us, Jonnu works, but for a lot of people, who's the other guy? Who's the other people that they're looking for, man?
Yeah, I don't know. That's the thing. I'm not sure. I'm not
Yeah.
sure. You know, um, maybe the move is they say they want Alex Highsmith. Maybe they want Alex Highsmith instead
No,
of
I can't
Calvin
do that.
Austin III.
No, I can't do that. I can't. I
I'm just
can't. I
throwing
can't do.
things out there. I'm just looking at it from both sides. Miami
Mhm.
doesn't need Calvin Austin. They'll go into
Yeah.
draft next year and take a wide receiver to replace Tyreek Hill to give up
Hmm.
Jonnu Smith. That's what I think they would do. Miami needs some defense. They might take Highsmith. Now, if I'm the Steelers, I say absolutely you can't have Alex Highsmith, take
Hmm.
somebody else. But
Hmm.
I don't know. I don't know. I
Yeah.
mean, it's a thought.
Yeah.
It's a thought. I wouldn't like it. I
Yeah.
wouldn't like it, but it's a thought. It's just a
I'm
thought.
not, bro. If we give up Highsmith, I want Jonnu Smith. No, but they got people. They got Chop Robinson. They got some dudes over there that can play defensive end for them. They don't, bro. I'm not
All
giving up
them guys
Highsmith. I don't
got
give a
hurt.
damn.
All them
Yeah.
guys got hurt, and none of them are Alex Highsmith.
Yeah, but I'm not giving up Alex Highsmith. Hell no, B. I'm sorry.
No,
I'm
I'm
not
not
giving
saying
him
they
up,
would.
bro.
I'm not saying we would. I'm just throwing names out there. I'm just throwing names out there. You know?
Man, they might be able to get her big out me. They might be able to get her big. I mean, I'm being honest with that. They might be able to get him, but I ain't giving up Alex Highsmith. I don't give a damn.
Yeah,
No way, I'm giving him up.
I think Alex Highsmith, he needs to have a better year this year. Don't get me wrong, but I like Alex Highsmith. I
Yeah,
do.
oh, yeah, yeah. I like
Um,
our rotation. You know,
Ronald says we need a corner. And somebody earlier in the chat was talking about how come we don't look for Jalen Ramsey instead of Jonnu Smith.
no,
I mean, I'm not opposed to that though, G. I'm not opposed to Jalen Ramsey. I'm not. I'm not. I like
B.
Jalen Ramsey.
Okay, I understand. I think and I'm with you on this one, right? But we need more help on offense than we do on defense, bro.
We do. We do.
We, I'm okay with going into the season with what we got on defense. I'm all right with Slay and Eccles and Beanie Bishop, JPJ, Trice, the three safety a tandem. What we got a linebacker and defense a line. I'm good, but we need help on the O. So I mean, now I would take Jalen, but that's a lot of bread, B. Damn, that's a lot of money, man, to give up Jalen, man. I mean, to get Jalen. That's a lot of money.
But we have it, so that part I wouldn't worry about. Somebody, Mark Malone, brought up, what if Minka went back home? What if the Steelers traded Minka back to the Dolphins? What if that was an option? We doing
No,
that?
no, hell no. I need a second. I want Jonnu Smith a second and a fifth to give Minka. I need a whole lot to
Yeah,
give Minka.
they're not going to do that, man.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Well, I mean, we know the con man. The con man. Now listen, B. We done had the con man for 3 years, right? We
Okay.
know he's in the fleecing. He's down with fleecing. So if anybody can get the fleece on, it's gonna be the con man. He gonna steal somebody. So I'm not giving up Minka either. I'm not giving up nobody on the defense. The hell with them. You can have one of our wide receivers and we'll switch picks and stuff like that. I ain't giving up nobody on the D.
But
Nobody.
here's the thing, G. You literally just said we need more help on offense than we do defense. You got to
Yeah.
give up something to get something. You got to be willing to part ways with something to get something. So if you're not willing to part ways with anybody on defense, especially to a team that needs defense, then what are you willing to do? Just draft picks? That's not going to
Herbert.
work. Teams want to win now. They need players. The Steelers have a few on defense. We talk about we spend too much money on defense. Well, if we do, and we can get offensive guys, you're not willing to give up something on defense to gain something on offense because I'm sorry, missing one safety or a defensive lineman, whatever the case, that ain't going to help us score 30 points. That ain't
That's
going to do
facts.
that. And I need
That's
30
facts.
points. I need 27 to 30 points. Can we do that? If we can do that, we can figure out we can figure out some sacks. I just need to be able to score more points. And that's what the Steelers don't do.
Well, B, if we give up Minka, look, it's the compensation now. Now we're gonna talk real. If the compensation is right, then okay. But I need a high draft pick. I need a high draft pick, man. Because I'm not giving up Minka without a high draft pick. You got to give me a third or better. I'm not giving up Minka without that, bro. Now you can get those Jonnu Smith in there, but I'm not giving him up without a high draft pick, bro. Ain't no way in hell I'm doing that. I just not me. And a Highsmith. I want a second or a first. You give it up. If you want him that bad and you need some help, I need a second or first. Ain't no way in hell I'm giving up Highsmith, bro. No way I'm giving it. Now her big, we might be able to work it out. We might be able to work it out, but Highsmith, no. Minka, no. Without compensation, along with Jonnu Smith, I'm not doing it.
Right. I mean, there's some in the chat, people are talking about the Steelers already have 20 tight ends and we get co-signers on that. I'm like, first of all, everybody on the roster isn't making the football team. Let's
Fact.
keep that in mind. Like
Yeah.
everybody that's on the Pittsburgh Steelers roster right now is not going to make the football team.
hmm
So they could have 100 tight ends. Everybody's not making the team. Keep that in mind. So it's okay to have a bunch right now. It's
Yeah.
literally okay.
Yeah.
And the last I checked, if you have guys that can help you, does it matter what position they play? I
Yeah.
mean, it shouldn't matter if they are an upgrade over what you currently have. That's the
Mm,
whole goal. That's like why Cordell Patterson's still on the roster. While I don't
trash.
think there's a chance in hell he's going to make the football team or shouldn't make the football team. You're not going to cut him right now because of
Mm,
injuries, because you
mm,
got to get through training camp and you got to find out exactly what happened. So it's okay, man. It's okay
yeah.
to have a bunch of tight ends right now. It's okay to have a bunch of running backs or whatever, because again, everybody ain't making the team and you got to have camp bodies. That's the way it works.
Facts. But I think why I'm stuck on Calvin Austin III is this. I think that the worst draft class that the Pittsburgh Steelers had is the draft class of 2022.
And he was
And
in it,
I really do believe that if Calvin Austin's gone, Liao ain't making the team.
right?
That means that the whole 2022 class is out of there. You see what I'm saying? So that was a horrible draft. So why would they not? They wasn't really sold on nobody in 2022 anyway. So why would they not part with Austin? Because I think they're cleaning house. If you've noticed, they keep getting rid of guys. Them last 2-3 years that Kevin Colbert picked, that was horrible drafts, man. So ship Calvin Austin. They might think something out of him and get him out of there. Because I'm telling you, Leal ain't making the team neither. 2022 is gone, dog. Get him out of here. That whole class is out of here.
I mean, I don't think we can look at it that way, to be honest with you, G. I mean, if the class is gone, then the class is gone. And I mean, the former GM picked him. Who gives a damn? Like, if nobody's on the team from 2022, then nobody's on the team. Because to be honest with you, that doesn't affect 2025. How's it? It doesn't affect it in any way. So if Calvin's on the team or if he's not, I just think hey, either he can help us or we found somebody else that could help us more than he could. I think that's
Yeah.
the only way you can look at it or should look at it, because hey, the draft class was bad. Colbert was bad. Okay, great. Now
Mhm.
who do we got?
Yeah.
Let's go from there.
Yeah.
And I like Calvin Austin the third. I do. I think he's great in his role. But
Mhm.
trying to make him wide receiver 2 is just not realistic. That's
No.
not, you know, he's fine, but it's just not realistic to make him that. And it's not his fault.
Mhm.
You can't blame a man for not having the abilities that somebody else has, but he's a slot guy. That's
Yeah.
what he is. He's a slot guy. We need to use him as such,
Yeah.
and leave it at that.
Yeah. But that's where they might be sold on wrong. I'm just saying. They might be sold on Rome, man. They might be sold on Roman Wilson and say, hey, man, this dude is the slot. We don't know. We don't know. But I know one thing for sure. Actually, two. One thing I know is that George Pickens was so cancerous, they had to get his ass out of there. I
Yeah,
know that without a shadow of a doubt now because they're searching for playmakers to go beside DK. And number two, they're not actually sold on what they currently have in the building from a playmaker position on offense for the Steelers. Otherwise, they wouldn't be contacting other teams. So,
right.
so George Pickens was so cancerous that they had to get him out of there. And on top of that, they're searching because they know that they don't have that playmaker in the room currently for the Steelers, bro.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you. I was just looking up something here. I mean, I totally agree, but I mean, even still, I mean, it is what it is as far as this point. It's Pickens is gone. We don't have a legit wide receiver 2. This Jonnu Smith is a possibility.
Mm-hmm.
Still not a done deal. I like it because it helps the Steelers. That's the
Mm,
reason I like it. I like it because it literally helps the Steelers.
yeah,
They are a
yeah,
better football team if he's on it than if he's not.
yeah.
Now, depending on what we have to give up, might be a different story. But
Mm-hmm.
I like him.
Yeah.
So I like that. My man Somber here got a point here, just changing topics real quick, said that Eccles is getting mainly outside reps. Don't let it worry you. Don't let
Mm-hmm.
it worry you.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he'll be fine. And I think he might be getting more outside reps because Slay is just kind of getting up to speed right now. But
Mm-hmm.
Eccles is a slot corner. That's what he is. He's not. I mean, he plays outside some, but he's a slot corner, and
Yeah,
he's an upgrade over Beanie Bishop, my man Somber. But you're
yeah,
right. He was getting the outside reps, but he can do both. But I would look for him to be the slot corner come game one.
yeah. OTAs, you just move guys around and see what you got. Why you think they move Lee out outside linebacker? That they're trying to see if they can work him in that position to give him an opportunity to make the 53-man roster. That's why they're putting Eccles on the outside to see what they got. In case of emergency, in case something happens, in case
Right.
JPJ goes down, we're gonna move Eccles outside and see what they got. So that's all this is. It's OTAs. Now, if it was mini camp and then preseason and they was working Eccles on the outside, I'd be like, wait a minute. But nah, he's gonna play inside, B. He's gonna play inside the whole time.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. So, Big Pun says we need elite talent. Why trade for another quite effing around and get Tyreek? The Steelers aren't going to get
No,
Tyreek. So
no.
the Dolphins aren't giving up on Tyreek Hill. They're not doing that. So that's out of the question. And they just got rid of a head case. They're not going to go trade for another one that quit on his football team. So we got to get out of that mindset. I get what you're saying, Pun. I'm with that. I get that. But they're
I
not
don't get
gonna
what Pun's
they're
saying. I
not
don't
gonna
get what he's
trade
saying.
for a guy that literally quit on his football team last year when they had a chance to make the playoffs. They're not gonna do that. They're not gonna, and they shouldn't.
Yeah.
And they shouldn't. You know.
Pun, you lucky we ain't got the Matrix graphic right now, because I'd put your ass in the Matrix, because it makes absolutely no sense. B got you, but I don't get it. I don't get it, punishment. I
No,
don't
I
get it.
get it.
No way.
I get it.
No way.
Yeah, I understand. I mean, the thing is, we got to get elite talent. Jonnu Smith he's. I wouldn't say he's elite, but he's better than what we have. So you have to get better weapons. You have to get more talent. And it looks like they struck out on Chris Olave. The Steelers called. The Saints said no. Well, you
Mm-hmm.
can't make somebody trade for you. Like, you can't
Mm-hmm.
make them give up football players. The Steelers said, "Hey, what about a second round pick?" And then, because that's what the Saints said. Hey, we want a second rounder. The Steelers said, okay. Then the Saints are like, no, 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 no. We called their bluff and they said, no, well, we can't make them trade them. We can't
That's
do
fact.
any of that, man. It is what it is at this point.
That's facts. We can't, and that's why they're calling multiple sources, B. They're calling multiple sources because they're trying to get. So listen, we've talked about this already. 12 draft picks in 2020 or 25, 26. There's no way in hell 12 guys is going to make the roster next year. We're not going to have 12 brand new dudes on the team. So
No.
they're trying to use that draft capital to get a playmaker. So whatever it takes. I think the only one they won't trade is the first rounder. And if they did trade the first rounder, it would be a top 10 playmaker on the outside in the league. So they're trying to move some of that capital, bro. We saw last year Omar Khan turn a second rounder into DK Metcalf. I told you the con man be doing stuff, bro. So if
Right.
he can turn another second rounder into an elite guy, or use a fourth or a fifth and get like a Jonnu, yeah, the con man's on the move, bro. And I'm happy because we're finally seeing the Steelers be aggressive from trading. Kevin Colbert did none of this. Now all of a sudden, Omar Khan and Andy Waddle is. So I'm cool with it, bro. I'm
Right.
100% cool with it.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I mean, there's some things that we can do. I don't mind the trade. Like I said, if it makes us better, it makes us better. We can all say we want
Mhm.
this, we want that. We need to go do this and make this trade. Like Pun said, trade for Jamison Williams. I'm like, they're not going to trade for guy Jamison Williams. He's been suspended from the league 3 times already, man. They're not going to do that. At some point, we got to get it through our head that the Steelers they've changed, or I mean, apparently they've changed. They act like it. They're getting rid of head cases. You're not going to go trade for a guy that's been suspended 3 times and literally is one false step away from being gone for the year. They're not going to do that anymore. I get what you're saying. I
Mhm.
understand it. We got to live in reality. And in
Yeah,
reality, they're not going to do something like that. At least not now. At least
yeah.
not now.
What,
So,
dude? Jameson Williams is, he a Buckeye boy now. He went down to Alabama for 1 year,
And he's a
but he's a
great
Buckeye
player.
boy.
I'm not saying he ain't
Yeah,
great. He
but he
is.
ain't. No, I'm with you. He was a basket case at Ohio State and Columbus. I'm with you. I know the kid. He was tripping in Columbus. So because he thought he was better than Marv, he thought he was better than Jackson Smith and Juka. He thought he was better than Garrett. He thought he was better than Olave, and he should be playing. That's what he thought. He was tripping. So they let him get up on out of there. He went to Bama 1 year, like you said, got to the league 3 times, suspended. No, we don't want him. That's George Pickens part 2. Hell no. We're not taking a dude like that no more. We ain't taking it no more, B. No.
Right. I mean, like I said, I get the point. I get the premise because we need guys, we need playmakers, and so I get the premise. It's just the Steelers have made a decision apparently that they're not going to deal with the knucklehead wide receiver anymore. So at some point, okay, let's move on. Okay, great. Where do we go? Like some
Mhm.
people in the chat are talking about Jacoby Myers. My thing with Jacoby Myers, I think he would fit perfect with the Steelers. Unfortunately, he also fits perfect with what the Raiders are trying to do. And remember, the Raiders just got a new quarterback. They got
Yeah.
Geno Smith. The Raiders aren't trying to lose this year.
Yeah.
They're not trying to lose this year. So they're
Yeah.
not going to give away everybody. Like the
Yeah.
Saints may be trying to lose. So I
Yeah.
get that. But the Raiders aren't. So
Yeah.
I don't think we can get him, or we'd have to give up too much for Jacoby Myers because he would fit perfect with what the Steelers are trying to do. But he also
Mhm.
fits perfect with what the Raiders are trying to do.
Yeah. B, I'm telling you, the team that they should call is Indianapolis, bro. That now got 4 dudes. They got Adnan Mitchell. They got the kid from Downs from North Carolina. They got Pierce and they got Pittman. 4 dudes ain't gonna play. They're just
Yeah.
not gonna fucking play. Matter of fact, they lightweight could call Tampa Bay too. Because Tampa Bay now got a Mecca Buka, that McCullum kid from Washington, Mike Evans, and Godwin. They might be that's 4 dudes, dog. 4 dudes ain't gonna play.
Uh-uh.
So maybe Green Bay and trying to see if they can get Dobbs out of Green Bay because Green Bay got 4 dudes. They got to contact the teams that's got 4 or 5 dudes and get a dude out of there, man. They got
Yeah.
that's what they need to do.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. I
Mhm.
100% agree. Go find one of those teams that can give you somebody. I mean, we'll see. They still got time, but they got to do something. They got
Yeah.
to do something. Just sitting here like this, it's the same thing as last year. It's the
Hmm.
same thing as last year. You got to go do something and find out what we got, you
Hmm.
know, and go try to win.
Yeah.
That would change my mindset, Big G. If the Steelers made a move and brought in a weapon, that would change my mindset of, how I am. The Steelers ain't trying to win this year. If they
Yeah.
go do that, I will change my mind, depending on obviously who it is. That'll
Hmm.
change my mindset. Because right now I'm still in the mode that the Steelers don't really give a damn about this season. And I'm in that mode. I'm in
Yeah.
that mode. And I need them to change my mind.
I was there, B, but now that I was there a little bit. But now that the report now, like you said, where there's smoke, there's fire, bro. And this would not be at the top of the line if they wasn't aggressively doing something. So it looks like they're still trying. You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It looks
No,
like
you're
they're
right.
trying to get a guy, and I'm with that. So I still have it. I'm not worried about the quarterback position at all. People might be. I'm not worried about it. It don't matter if it's Rodgers, Mason, or whatever else, because the offensive line is going to be improved. You get another playmaker, and I think the defense is going to be solid. So to me, that's you're trying to win. You might not be ready to win a Super Bowl, but you're trying to win, right? Super Bowl means you have identified and got your franchise quarterback. I don't
Correct.
know if we have that yet, but if that 53-man roster is built up, now you insert the quarterback and let's go. Let's
No,
go. So
no, I'm with you. I'm with you. You know, um, people are talking about Romeo Dobbs. I mean, I like Romeo Dobbs. He would be a solid number 2. I like
yeah,
Wicks.
yeah,
He's a little bigger.
yeah.
So I don't know. And just
Hmm.
somebody, call somebody and do something. Pun brought
Yeah.
up Brandon Cooks. I'm not opposed to Brandon Cooks. Brandon Cooks came on at the end of the year last year for the Cowboys when they finally realized, hey, this guy still got a little something. And they started
Mm-hmm.
throwing him the football. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
opposed to Brandon Cooks. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not. He's a good receiver. He's been
The
everywhere.
only two dudes I'm opposed to is I don't want no damn Amari Cooper, and I don't want no damn Keenan Allen. Because if we was gonna do that, we might as well kept Mike Williams. To me,
No, no,
I,
no, no, no,
I
no,
don't
no.
want neither one of them.
No,
Keenan
no,
Allen done.
no, no, he's not, man. How is Keenan Allen done?
He's
How do you figure Keenan Allen is done? He has 700 yards last year on a team, and he missed a bunch of time on a team that couldn't pass block with a rookie quarterback that held on to the ball too long. Keenan Allen still gets open. He's not a game breaker, but name me the time when Keenan Allen was a game breaker. That's never been his game. But the man can still get open, and he can still catch the football. I would take Keenan Allen in a heartbeat. I don't think he'll come to Pittsburgh, but I would take Keenan Allen right now. He is not Mike Williams. You're tripping. He is not Mike Williams. Not even
Hey man,
close.
I'm being biased, bro, because I hate the Bears. I listen in this order. I hate the Baltimore Ravens, the Dallas Cowboys, and the Chicago Bears in that order, right? And so I'm being biased right now. I'm showing my bias because I can't stand the Bears. Get them out of here. And I don't want no more Chase Claypool and Mitch Trubisky. Never again do I want another Bear on my team because any Bear that come over is trash. So that's why I'm like Keenan Allen. Nah, I can't do it, bro. I just can't do it. I can't do it.
I don't know. I mean, I like Keenan Allen. I like him. He could work with Pittsburgh. He could work with me. You know, you put
Mm,
him on the opposite side. He works in the slot a lot. I get all of that, but
mm.
we could figure it out with Keenan Allen. We could figure that out. I don't know about
He's
Amari.
on the street, man.
Yeah, Keenan
Yeah.
Allen's on the
They on the
street.
street. They on the
Yeah,
street.
but that didn't mean anything. I mean, we
Yeah.
don't need to trade. That's the whole thing is that we don't want to have to trade for somebody if we don't have to. If we could get
Mm-hmm.
somebody off the street that's productive, fine. I'd rather do that
Mm-hmm.
than have to give up, a fourth round pick for somebody. I'd rather do that. But we'll see. We'll see. But this
Mm-hmm.
Jonnu Smith I'm excited about it. I'm excited about Jonnu Smith and what he can bring to the table if the Steelers can get the deal done. Now, the one thing I'll tell
Mm-hmm.
you right now, G, that's going to piss me the hell off, I find out the Steelers do get Jonnu Smith and we gave up a third round pick for him. I'm going to be furious. I'm going to tell you that right. I don't care what. He is not worth no third round pick. So
Yeah.
no, 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 no. That is my thing. I don't care. Don't be giving up no third round pick for the guy. No, he's not that. Not that.
Are you gonna crash out? Are you gonna crash out if they trade for a third? Is that crash out material?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right.
Absolutely.
All
I'll
right.
go
I'm just
berserk.
I'm just trying to be prepared. I'm just trying to be
Yeah, I'm
prepared.
going to
That's
go
all. You
berserk.
know? Yeah.
Absolutely berserk if they give up a
Yeah.
third round pick for him. But how
Yeah.
things have been going lately, I know I
Mhm,
try to be Mr. Positive and I get on people for not being positive. You
mhm.
watch. We're going to hear tomorrow about around noon, around lunchtime, the Steelers have traded a third round pick for Jonnu Smith. And you're going to click on Steelers Almighty and you're going to see the channel's been shut down for 4 hours. You say it's shut down for
Damn.
4 hours. Big B is crashing out. I'm telling you
Damn.
right now.
You going on boycott for 4 hours? You
I'm
gonna
going
shut the
on
site?
boycott. I'm going to boycott for 4 hours. We're going to shut it down for 4 hours so I can regain my composure because
Come
I'll
on,
be furious.
man. Come on, man. Come on. You can't shut it down for a third round pick, man. Come on, B. That now you talking about me crashing out. That's the ultimate crash out. You gonna shut the site down?
Ooh. Now, my man Alex Dunn is throwing something in the chat, getting
What?
spicy. Would you trade Jono for Muth straight up?
Yeah, I would. I would.
Man,
I do it.
I didn't even think about that, but
I do it.
I mean, look, Freiermuth is a little younger, but maybe. I mean, I
I
don't
do it.
know, man.
I do it. And let's switch picks. Let trade move for Jonnu, and we swap seconds. We do a pick swap in a second. So now we move because Miami gonna be trash. So now we move up in the second round. I do that. I would do that.
I mean, huh? I don't know. I mean, whoo, Jiminy Christmas. I just look. Pat is 26. Jono's 29.
Yep.
Uh, Jono wants a new contract, so we'd have to give him a new contract. What that's going to look like, I don't know.
Mhm.
That's tricky, man.
But
Wow, that's tricky.
John's Arthur Smith's dude. That's his boy, bruh. You see what I'm saying? It's not like he's got to teach him anything in the offense. Like he don't even really need no damn playbook. All he got to do is just get a black and gold uniform on, and he's ready to roll.
Now,
Like
here's
I
the
mean,
thing.
mhm.
Here's the thing about it is that Jonnu Smith's not a great blocker, but he's better than Pat Freiermuth.
Yeah,
I mean,
facts.
he's better than Pat Freiermuth at blocking. And I don't know. I like Muth. I think I might pull that trigger, G. I think I might pull the trigger on that one if they called and said, that's a good question, Mr. Alonzo Dunn.
Yeah.
That's a good question. Just got a brand new member, man, Logan Christopher. We appreciate you for supporting the
Mhm.
channel, man. Thank you.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
appreciate that. We really do. But yeah, I might pull the trigger on that. I don't know if Miami would do it, but if they would, I mean, I don't know. I say that you get younger at a position, you know. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. It's the swap that to me, they're the same guy. I think John's maybe a little bit better, but as far as catching the ball, but the swap, if you could pull the swap off with it, when we flip seconds, now we get y'all second and y'all get ours. Yeah. Yeah, so now you got a higher second round, you got a first, you still got 3/3. Because the
Yeah,
deal is going after the quarterback in 2026. So now you got a high second with 3/3 and a first. Oh yeah, yeah. Come on, dog. Make that happen. I'm going for that all day and night, B. All day and night.
gotcha.
Mhm.
Alonzo Dunn with the super chat. Appreciate you supporting the channel as always, man. He says Jono and Darnell Washington bring Arthur Smith back to the. I don't know. I
It don't
mean,
bring it. It puts him back. It makes it's that's his offense.
that's his offense.
Yeah.
That's his offense. I mean, it would be tough. It would be tough.
Mhm.
So it would be tough, but we'll see. I mean, obviously, I don't think they're going to trade Muth. I don't think that's something that's actually going to happen. So we'll see. Whoa, Lennox Smith. Now that's not true, man. You say I get Pat Freiermuth was open and they didn't look at him. Okay, but Jonnu Smith didn't put up average numbers. What are you talking about? In a
Mhm.
pass happy offense that he was also playing with a third string quarterback for 8 games and made the Pro Bowl. Come on, my
Mhm.
man. He didn't put up average numbers. You like Muth. It's okay to just say you like Muth, but you can't say, well, he put up average numbers. Jonnu Smith didn't put up average numbers. No, he
Yeah.
didn't.
Jonnu Smith is a top 12 or 13 tight end in the league, bro. I
Yes.
mean, overall, blocking, passing, lining up at H-back, being versatile, moving him around like a chess piece. He's in the top 12 or 13 tight ends in the league.
Well,
So
I mean, he had 1 year last year. I get it, but I don't know. I don't know. I mean,
it's,
like I said, I like him, and he doesn't block, but he's a better blocker than Pat Freiermuth, though. So
yeah.
that's just a fact. He's a better blocker than Pat Freiermuth. But at 26 versus 29, we already got the contract done for Muth. We would have to give a new one to Jono. Maybe I wouldn't do that. Maybe I wouldn't do that. Maybe Lennox talked me into it. I don't know. It would be tough. It would be
Mm-mm.
tough.
I'd
So
do it. I'd do it because with the swap, the swap would have to be included, but I'd do it. Outside it, with no swap, nah, I'm not doing it. But
no,
with a
Felicia.
swap, yeah.
Yeah, no, Felicia. We're not. Pat's not behind the 8 ball. Somebody threw out a trade, just a speculation trade. So Muth is not behind the 8 ball. Nobody's talking about trading him. That was just
Mm-mm.
something that our man Alonzo threw out there. So
Mhm.
no big deal. No big deal. Well, man, I gotta run, people. I appreciate you all. I gotta hightail it out tonight, but I appreciate y'all joining us. Jonnu Smith, be thinking about it, man. Jonnu Smith, are the Steelers gonna make a trade for him? Are they going to do it? Let me just, before I go, let me just ask the chat. What do you all think? Do we think that the Steelers are going to complete this trade? Or do we think, nope, not going to happen? What do y'all say, chat? Y'all think he's going? What do you, Big G? What do you think? Do you think the Steelers are going to do it, or do you think, a lot of talk for nothing?
75-25, they're gonna pull the trigger, and it just might be for the third round, and I'm gonna watch you crash out.
And please hope it's not for a third round pick. I'd like to keep the channel up, but I'd like to keep the channel up. So, I don't want to have to shut it down, but I'll shut it down if I have to, because I won't be able to control my emotions if we give up a third round pick for Jonnu Smith. I'm sorry, Chad. I won't be able to control. You talk about crashing out. Oh my God. I won't be able to control it. I won't. Because all the things that I try to be positive about, the Steelers are making moves, they're making smart decisions. That would not be that would be an ignorant decision. And y'all know how I like calling people in statements ignorant. The Steelers would be making an ignorant decision on a third round pick. On a third round pick. So I can't do it. So,
yep.
Oh well. It is what it is, man. Well, I appreciate everybody being out here, man. Thank you guys as always. Y'all are lively, you're informative, you're intelligent, you're crazy. My man Pun, it was on the Thunderbird tonight. No, he's on that Cuervo. Excuse me. He's on that Cuervo. We love
Early.
Pun, man. We love Pun.
Yeah.
We love all of you guys. So I don't know if we do it, but if they do it, if they do make the trade, make sure you all keep your phones available, because we'll be out here talking about what the Steelers gave up. And if it's a third round pick, I'm telling y'all right now, if the Steelers give up a third round pick, I'm getting this close to the phone. If they give up a third round pick for Jonnu Smith, the crash out will be epic. I'm just telling you right now. I won't be able to control it. I won't. So let's hope that don't happen, people. Let's hope it don't happen. So I appreciate y'all, man. Thank you. I'll talk to y'all soon.